All right, let's talk about a place deep in the heart of Transylvania. Yeah, that Transylvania. There's a forest there that has been terrifying locals for generations. It's a place that seems to play by its own set of rules, where reality itself just feels a little thin.
It's even earned itself a nickname, and trust me, it's a fitting one. Just like the mystery in the Atlantic, people and time itself have this really strange way of getting lost here. And this isn't just a bunch of campfire stories. This place is a well-documented hotspot for the truly bizarre.
So first up, let's talk about the twisted trees and strange sensations. This is where the wrongness really begins, both in the world around you and, well, inside you.
From a distance, it looks like any other forest. But visitors swear that the second you cross that tree line, it's like a switch flips. There's this weight, this really unsettling feeling that you've just stepped into a place that doesn't follow the rules of the world you just left.
The trees themselves seem to be trying to get away from something. They don't grow straight up. They twist into these unnatural spirals. They bend at these impossible 90-degree angles right at the base. And get this, scientists have studied everything, the soil, the air, you name it, and they have found zero explanation. It's like the trees are actually writhing in pain.
And it's not just what you see, right? It's what you feel. People who go in there consistently report this sudden crushing anxiety. This feeling of being watched by unseen eyes from all directions. This isn't just you getting spooked in the woods, it's a real physical sensation of dread. Some people even get hit with this wave of nausea that comes out of absolutely nowhere.
Okay, section 2, whispers in the shadows. Because those weird feelings, they escalate. They turn into full-blown paranormal encounters pretty quickly.
So the twisted trees and that awful sense of dread, that's one thing. But the forest's influence isn't just limited to what you can immediately see or feel. Sometimes the real horror doesn't show up until later.
People constantly see these glowing orbs of light just floating, dancing between the trees. But here's where it gets even creepier. Photographers will be looking through their pictures later, and they'll find these shapes. Dark, human-like figures just lurking in the background of a shot. Figures that were absolutely not there when they took the photo.
And then you have the sounds. Imagine you are completely alone, miles from civilization, and you hear crystal clear whispers right in your ear. Or footsteps that are perfectly in sync with yours, that stop the instant you stop. It starts with the snap of a branch that's way too close for comfort. And for some poor souls, it ends with the sound of disembodied laughter just echoing out of the pitch-black darkness.
And all of this brings us to the very heart of the mystery. A place inside this forest where the laws of nature just seem to stop working entirely. Right in the middle of this creepy, overgrown forest, there is a perfect circle of barren earth. The locals call it the dead zone. And for as long as anyone can remember, for centuries, absolutely nothing has grown inside that circle. Not one blade of grass, not a single weed. And here is the central paradox of Hoya Baciu. Scientists have taken soil samples from this clearing over and over and over again. And you know what they found? The soil is perfectly healthy. There's absolutely no scientific reason for nothing to grow there. And yet, nature itself seems to refuse to enter that circle. So, when you're faced with a reality that science just can't explain, what are you left with? Well, local folklore has its own theory. This clearing isn't just a patch of dead land. It's a gateway, a portal to another world. And there's a famous local story that seems to back up this terrifying idea.
The legend goes like this. A 5-year-old girl wanders off from her family and disappears into the woods. Search parties looked for days, but they found absolutely nothing. She was gone. Then, 5 years later, to the day, she just walks out of the forest from the exact same spot. And here's the thing, she was wearing the exact same clean clothes. She hadn't aged a day. And when they asked her where she'd been, she said she was only gone for a few hours.
So what about those who actually make it out? Well, the experience isn't always over. Sometimes, the forest leaves a permanent physical reminder that you were there. People will come out of the woods and suddenly have these unexplained scratches, rashes, even burns on their skin, even though they know they didn't touch anything. Compasses spin uselessly. Phones and cameras just die for no reason. And, just like that little girl, so many people report missing time, huge gaps in their memory, hours that they just cannot account for. And you know, this strangeness is nothing new.
Ancient legends claim the forest is haunted by the restless souls of peasants who were executed there. Then, in the 1960s, the mystery took a modern twist. A military technician took one of the clearest photos of a UFO ever recorded, hovering right over that clearing. To this day, it's a global hotspot for paranormal investigators and UFO hunters.
So, after all of this, the twisting trees, the disembodied voices, the dead zone, the missing time, what are we supposed to make of it all? What is really, truly going on in this forest?
Well, the explanations usually fall into one of three camps. First, is it a genuine paranormal hotspot, just a place where spirits and strange energies all converge? Or is it an actual portal, a literal tear in the fabric of our reality? Or could it all be a powerful case of human psychology, our own minds playing tricks on us in a place that's just soaked in fear and legend?
Whatever the real cause is, the one thing that's certain is the experience. This forest has a profound, undeniable effect on people. Nobody just takes a casual stroll through Hoyabachu and leaves indifferent. They leave with a story, a weird feeling, or maybe a question that they'll never be able to answer.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. Knowing all this, knowing that the trees might be watching you, that the ground itself rejects life, and that you could lose hours of your life that you will never get back, would you dare to step inside?